Children, the next topic is continuity. Any function to be continuous, we say that a function is said to be continuous at x equals to a if limit of the function at a exists and the value of the function is same. That means the value of the limit and the value of the function is same. Then the function is said to be continuous at x equals to a. Right, children? And we know how to find limit. Limit only exists when the left hand limit and the right hand limit of the function exist or same, right? So we can say that if the left hand limit is equal to the right hand limit and if the value of the function at a, all three becomes equal, in this condition the function is said to be continuous. The left hand limit is limit x tends to a negative fx. The right hand limit, limit x tends to a positive fx is equals to the value of the function at a. Right, children? Now, if we see the graph, I have drawn a graph for you. If you see this graph, in this curve, the function is defined at every point. So, we can say that the function is continuous by looking at the graph. And suppose if we say that at 4, the value of the function does not exist, right? Then we can say that this function is continuous except 4. That means if the domain is 4, the value of the function does not exist. Right, children? Note down. Children, let's see this sum. In this sum, the function is 2x square minus 5x plus 2 upon x minus 2. And the domain of the function is all real numbers except 2. Right. Let's calculate the limit of the function at x equals to 2. So when we calculate the limit, we know how to calculate. We'll factorize this numerator. Okay, by splitting the middle term, 5x can be written as minus 4x minus x. And when we solve, we get the factors 2x minus 1, x minus 2 upon x minus 2 cancel. We'll get limit x tends to 2, 2x minus 1. When we put x equals to 2 here, we'll get the value of the limit as 3. And the value of the function, if you put x equals to 2 here, what we'll get? This upon 2 minus 2. X equals to 2, that means this will get cancelled. So we'll get 0 in the denominator. And whenever we get 0 in the denominator, that means the function at 2 has not defined a value. So we can say that, we can conclude that fx is discontinuous at x equals to 2. Okay. If the function has, the limit of the function exists and the value of the function does not exist, is not defined, then we can say that the function has, children. Children, we have just studied that the function can only be continuous if the left hand limit of the function is equal to right hand limit of the function is equal to the value of the function at that point. That means that x equals to a. Then only the function is said to be continuous. Otherwise, any value is not equal, the function will be discontinuous. Okay, at x equals to a. Now there are a few more points. If we say that the left hand limit of the function is equal to the value of the function exists, both are equal. Okay. Does not mean the right hand limit is equal or not. If the left hand limit equals to the value of the function, then we say that the function is continuous from the left or left continuous. Right, children? And if right hand limit is equal to the value of the function at x equals to a, then the function is said to be continuous from the right or right continuous. Right, children? And if you see that the left hand limit is equal to right hand limit or the limit of the function exists, but either fa does not exist or the limit is not equal to the function, as we have seen in the previous example, then we say that the function has removable discontinuity. That means we can remove the discontinuity by making this limit equals to the value of the function. Right, children? Note down, please. Children, next is continuity in an open interval. Okay. Now, if we have to check the continuity of a function in an open interval, the function fx is said to be continuous in open interval if fx is continuous at every point of a comma b, open interval a comma b. This means that fx must be defined in between a and b. Okay. Now, if we say that there is a function fx and the interval is open interval -1, 2, right, children? And if we draw the graph of fx, and fx is defined for every value lying between -1 and 2. So we can say that fx is continuous in an open interval -1, 2. Right, children? Note down, please. Now if we have to check the continuity in closed interval, okay, then we can say that a function is said to be continuous in the closed interval. Now there are 2 points. If it is continuous in open interval a comma b, that means that it is continuous between all the values lying between a and b, and it is also continuous at the end points. So to show that the function is continuous at the end point, then we can say that the right hand limit of the function at a is equals to the value of the function at a. That means the function should be right continuous at a, and the left hand limit of the function at b is equals to the value of the function at b. That means the function should be left continuous at f equals to b. Then we can say that the function is continuous at the end point. Right, children? Note down. Now children, algebra of continuous functions. Okay, suppose at x equals to a, the two functions fx and gx are continuous. Then we can say that if fx and gx are continuous, their sum will also be a continuous function. Their difference will also be a continuous function. If fx and gx are continuous functions, that fx into gx will also be a continuous function, and fx upon gf is also a continuous function, implied that the value of gx at x equals to a should not be equal to 0, because at that point the function will be gx will be not defined. Okay, next is composition of two functions is also a continuous function. We have studied composition of two functions in chapter 1, functions, right? Relation functions. There we have studied f of g is a composition of function. G of f is also a composition function. That means if f and g are continuous function, fog and gof are also continuous functions. Right, children? Note down. Children, now we are going to discuss some continuous functions. In that category, first is polynomial function. Why we are discussing this? Because these are the common functions when you can see and tell whether the function is continuous or not continuous. Right? We are going to use this in application of derivatives. Right? In Rolle's theorem, in Lagrange mean value theorem. This is very helpful. So whenever you see a polynomial function, so remember, polynomial function is always a continuous function. Right? Next is trigonometric functions. So trigonometric functions are continuous in their domain. We know sin x is a continuous function, cos x is a continuous function, tan x is also a continuous function if the domain for all the real numbers except odd multiples of pi by 2. That means 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. If we remove the odd value of tan x, odd multiple of pi by 2 if we remove from the domain, tan x is continuous. Right? So for their given domain, on their domain they are continuous. All the trigonometric functions are continuous. Next is absolute function. What is absolute function? Mod of x. You can see this is the absolute function, and this is also continuous. If you draw modulus graph mod of x, you draw like this. That means you can see that the value of the function is defined for all the domain of x belongs to real number. Right, children? Next is log x. Log x is again a continuous function for the open interval 0, infinity. Right, children? Note down please. Children, let's solve few sums. The first sum here it says if fx equals to 1 when x is less than 0 and fx equals to x minus 2 when x is greater than equals to 1, examine fx for continuity at x equals to 0. Right, children? Now what we'll do, we have to examine the continuity. We have to see that whether the function is continuous or not at x equals to 0. So how we check the continuity at x equals to 0? By finding the limit, left hand limit, right hand limit and value of the function at x equals to 0. If all the three values becomes equal, okay, then we can say that the function is continuous at x equals to 0, otherwise discontinuous. Let's see the left hand limit. Left hand limit is limit x tends to 0 negative fx. When x is less than 0, the value of the function is 1. Okay, so it's a constant. Whatever value of if limit is, the value of the left hand limit will be 1. Next is right hand limit. If you calculate limit x tends to 0 positive fx. So when x is greater than 0, the value of the function is x minus 2. So then put fx equals to x minus 2. And what we'll do? A plus h, that we know how to calculate the right hand limit. When limit h tends to 0, 0 plus h equals minus 2, then what will get? H minus 2. When you put h equals 0, you will get minus 2. That means here you can see that the left hand limit is 1 and right hand limit is minus 2. We can say that left hand limit is not equals to right hand limit, hence the function is discontinuous at x equals to 0. Understood, children? Note down please. Children, see next sum. The question is, if fx equals to x upon sine 2x when x is not equals to 0 and fx equals to 2 when x equals to 0, they are saying that is the function continuous at x equals to 0. Okay, so to check the any function continuous, the limit of the function must be equal to the value of the function, right? That means the limit of the function fx at x equals to x tends to 0 must be equal to the value of the function at 0. So if we say that when x equals to 0, the value of fx is given 2 here, right? And if you calculate the limit of the function, right, we know how to calculate x upon sine 2x. What we will do, we will multiply by 2 and divide it by 2. And when we do that, this 1 by 2 will take outside the limit. Is a property of limit. And then it will become limit x tends to 0, 2x upon sine 2x. And this has the value 1. Limit x tends to 0, x upon sine x is 1. You have studied. Now 1 by 2 into 1 is also equals to 1 by 2. Now the value of the function at 0 is 2. The limit of the function x tends to 0 is 1 by 2. That means the limit of the function fx is not equals to the value of the function at x equals to 0. Therefore we say that the function is discontinuous at x equals to 0. And this function has a removable discontinuity. That means if the value of the functions becomes at 0 becomes 1 by 2, this function will be a continuous function. Right? Okay children, let's see our next problem. Here the question is, locate the point of discontinuity of the function x is to the power 4 minus 16 upon x minus 2 and x is not equals to 2 and fx equals to 16 when x equals to 2. Find out the limit. Let's check the limit of the function at 2. Okay, when we do that, limit x tends to 2, x to the power 4 minus 16 upon x minus 2. You can see we can do the factors here, and then when you do the factors of x to the power 4 minus 16, x minus 2 will get cancelled. Okay, then what we'll get? X plus 2, x square plus 4. And then when we put x equals to 2, we'll get the value of the limit as 32, right? And when you can see that when the value of the function at x equals to 2 is given 16, that means the limit of the function at x equals to 2 is not equals to the value of the function at 2. So we can say that fx is discontinuous at x equals to 2. So x equals to 2 is the point of discontinuity. Right children? Note down. Now children, in this sum, question says if fx equals to mod of x minus 1 continuous at x equals to 1 or not. We have to check the continuity of the function at x equals to 1. Now this is a modular function. The mod of x could be positive, could be negative. So we can say that if x minus 1 is negative, then x will be less than 1. If you put x equals to 1, you will get 0 value. and x minus 1 will be positive when x is greater than 1. So 3 cases arises, right? So if we calculate the left hand limit of the function when x is less than 1, the value of the function is minus x plus 1, right children? And when x equals to 1 plus h, when x moves to 1, h moves to 0. So in place of x we are going to put 1 minus h, right? So when you do that, limit h tends to 0, what will get? H equals 0, minus 1 plus 1, 0. That means the value of left hand limit is 0. Let's see the right hand limit. Limit h tends to 1 positive fx, and the value of the function when x is greater than 1 is x minus 1. Okay. Put x equals to 1 plus h. When x tends to 1, h tends to 0. Right children? And when you put the limit here, again you will get 0. And it is given that the value of the function at x equals to 1 is 0. Right? So you can say that the limit, left hand limit, the right hand limit, and the value of the function at 1 all are same, all the three values are same and equal to 0. Then from here we can say that fx is continuous at x equals to 0. Right children? Note down please. Children, our next sum says examining the function fx equals to sine 3x square minus 5 for continuity. Right? Let's see how we solve this sum. In this sum we are going to solve with the help of composition of function. Right? So what we'll do, first we let fx equals to some, or fx is we have used here, no? So we are going to use h, and here we are going to change the value of the function, right? So let hx equals to 3x square minus 5. So we know that 3x square minus 5 is a polynomial, and all the polynomial functions are continuous functions. We can say that it is a continuous function because it is a polynomial function for all x belongs to real number. Then let gx equals to sin x. Sin x is again a continuous function for all x belongs to real number. Now if we find the composition, that is g or hx, then what will get? Sine of 3x square minus 5. So if gx is a continuous function, hx is a continuous function, then g of fx will also be a continuous function for all x belongs to real number. Right children? Note down.